Going into the depths of life and really exploring what lurks down there and really looking at that crud that needs to be revealed is really what the talent of a Midheaven and Scorpio person really can achieve when it comes to their well-being in their career. Researching, psychology, investigation are all possible fields for this placement. If you have this placement, you can really excel at these fields. Any career allowing you to dig deep. I have recording in this video, I'm going to be discussing the midheaven in Scorpio and the birth chart and what it could mean for you if you have this placement. I have a whole other video about the meaning of the midheaven on my YouTube channel. But basically, the midheaven is your career path. It's the career sector, rules your 10th house. It is your highest calling in the world, and you need to know your time of birth to know the sign of your midheaven. So, if your midheaven is in Scorpio, your birth chart, then you carry a very, very strong energy with you, a very powerful energy. You can exert a lot of power. You have a lot of willpower and determination. The drive is there, the motivation is there to achieve whatever goal that you set out for yourself to achieve. And resilience. You're also highly resilient. You're also very, very strong, very sturdy, can withstand the strongest storms, the strongest winds, the strongest air raids, the strongest anything. So this is your talent. You are committed to your goals. Now, people with displacement can really thrive in environments with challenging situations because these situations are very, um, demanding of them that they have to sort of move about in different placements in different ways where they are conquering all these challenges and they're getting over all of these sort of buffers and everything along those lines. So they can conquer any obstacle very, very well. They can find ways to solve problems. They're all about problem solving. Something that is highly valuable to a midheaven and Scorpio person is secrecy, privacy, keeping their life hidden from the public. When they talk about their life, they're very selective about it. They filter a lot of stuff out and in what they reveal to you. They will not reveal everything to you, anything to you. They'll be very, very selective about it. So privacy is very important to you if you have this place about keeping things very private, very locked away. Now, it's sort of a two-way street here, where they're good at giving away their secrets, in addition to keeping them private. So they're good at both of these things, and as I said before, they are selective about it. Now, if you have your midheaven in Scorpio, your ascendant sign is either Capricorn, Aquarius, or Pisces. So people with this placement can be very mysterious. There's a mystery about them and powerful. They're very, very strong. They have a lot of force. They have a lot of will to dominate. They hold a lot of power with them. Scorpio is all about power. So this placement is all about experiencing the whole buffet of life, the good, the bad, the ugly, the sad, the disappointing, all of it. They're here to experience the full spectrum of emotions, the whole spectrum of experiences. You're here to get a taste of everything, going through the trauma and the drama and the crisis, but also the good and happy times when you're dancing on rainbows and those kind of things like that. So, um, that is where we are really considering the vastness and the versatility of this placement. You intensely and extremely go after your goals. There's an intensity with you that you have towards your goals. Once you set your sights on a goal, you will achieve it to the ends of the earth. You may also be obsessed with your goals, mentally obsessed with achieving your goals. This placement is about outgrowing your limitations, moving to new limitations, to move beyond that sort of academy that you graduated from at this stage in your spiritual development. I'm doing these things as part of a soul contract, and I'm moving into upper levels of being, upper states of being. I'm moving from one flat to another flat, one story to another story. So when it comes to outgrowing your limitations, this is about breaking free of any limitations that bind you and move on from those limitations and live a truly authentic life. Now, you are very willing to make sacrifices. So the sacrifices that you make are done with a lot of intention, are done with a willingness to make those sacrifices. Now, your goals that you sort of map out for yourself to achieve in your life should be your own goals. It shouldn't be anyone else's goals that are imposing their goals onto you. That should be your own goals, your own terms, what you need and want, that the kind of thing, because that's where you can excel. Being successful in your professional life makes you feel strong, makes you feel powerful. So there's something very important to be said about that. People with displacement feel accomplished when they find and reach their deepest heart desires, their deepest mental desires, the deepest brain desires. When it comes to reaching these strong potents in their life, this is where the rubber has to hit the road. Where if they listen and tune into their deep desires, and if they follow those deep desires and they morph it into a career, that's where they can really feel at peace and feel like their life is moving in a meaningful, fulfilling direction. You want to use your deep, dark experience as building blocks in your life. It's any type of, you're not afraid of the dark, you're not afraid of the shadow, you're not afraid of facing the more negative aspects of life head on. So that's something very, very important to know about the Midheaven Scorpio. Your life is a constant transformation. You're always dying away an old version of you, rebirthing a new version of you. That whole death, rebirth, transformation cycle is a constant cycle in your life. That's what you are known for. That's what goes on as the story of your life. You have a lot of integrity, and there's a strong ability here to transform your life and the lives of those around you. You want to make an impact. You want to make a splash in your life and those around you. You want to change it from the inside out. This is about achieving huge transformation in personal growth. This is a very, very huge point to make here. And when it comes to the transformation that you will make and that you will receive is very, very strong. Your personal growth is also very, very huge and up in the charts. So you want to leave behind a lasting legacy. You also want to understand yourself at a deep, profound level if you have this placement. You approach life with intensity and purpose. That's something very important to note. Any career which empowers you to dig below the surface and reveal hidden truths you can excel at, because Scorpio is about taking that machine and digging down into the earth to pull up that gold, to dig down and find what's under the surface, to really pull up the truth, pull up the gems, pull up the treasures that are underneath the earth to reveal what is actually going on. And so revealing these hidden truths, digging deep until you find the truth, um, and digging deep to solve problems is what you can really excel at. Situations that require strategic thinking and a calculated approach can be very good for you. So not doing things out of impulse, but really considering what you're going to do before you do it and really cautiously going about your decisions. Any situation which requires strategic thinking can be good for you. So this is one of the trademarks of this placement, that situations that require you to be um, very strategic, very benevolent, very ambivalent, but decisive at the same time, with a calculated approach can really thrive for you. Any situation which requires strategic thinking can be good for you. This is about overcoming challenges on your journey towards self-actualization. Now, in your life, you may change careers quite often. You may be in one job for a couple of years or so, and then you might be in another job. That's sort of how you rock and roll. You may experience a lot of crisis and chaos in your career. You want to step into the unknown of your life, step into what you've never stepped in before. Brave, going into the unknown with full certainty that you're going to come out a better version of yourself when you do this, and you're going to be okay. You're going to survive and get through stepping into the unknown. This is all about finding security inside yourself, finding inner security with your own internal resources, not external material resources. You are learning to trust the universe and know that you will be okay and taken care of. That's where you can really thrive. Now, in your childhood, one of your parents probably was very controlling, very dominating, possibly manipulative, but your parent could also have been very resilient and very intense and played a huge role and aspect in your life. So you're very analytical with this placement and you want to investigate. Having a career in detective work and investigation, finding the truth of things is really where you can excel. This is a wonderful placement for research-based careers, anything that allows you to dig below the surface. That is where you can thrive. You can gain a lot of recognition from for getting to the bottom of problems. That's where you can really gain that recognition, is really finding the truth of situations. You can make great psychologists, great researchers. Those are good careers if you have this placement. Careers that involve life or death experiences, that kind of thing can really, really go well for you in this lifetime. You may be drawn to psychology, maybe drawn to getting into the human psyche, understanding why people do what they do, why there's thoughts of these certain issues. You may have an interest in the occult. You maybe are obsessed with your work and you do well in a high pressure environment. So, with really working very rapidly, very efficiently, and getting it done fast under pressure is where you can thrive. You're probably seen as being intense, mysterious, and highly capable. You're possibly sexually magnetic. That could be a possibility with this. You're known for being tough and hyper-focused. There's this feeling like someone wants to ruin your reputation. This can be a very, very strong feeling that you may experience in your life, that you may be betrayed. You don't like showing. Okay. So being a detective, careers related to death and psychology are good avenues for you. You deeply understand your desires and you're very passionate about going after them. So, um, that's where you can really thrive, is having a career which is in alignment with your desires. You have a high self-motivation. You're very self-motivated. This placement is all about digging below the surface. Now, at one level, you could overwork yourself. You could bite off more than you can chew. So don't become a workaholic. Don't work overtime, burn yourself out. Allow time for a life balance, time for relaxation, a time for self-care, a time for nurturing yourself, a time for downtime. That's what you need to give yourself is that rest. You also need to recognize the limitations of your power. You are very, very powerful, but there are restrictions to that power that you have. If you have this placement, you want to make wise and discerning choices about where to direct your energy to not direct your energy in what drains you or makes you feel very in the underworld, let's say. Now, if you have this placement, you want to look to the house sign and aspects that is made to your natal Pluto placement because Pluto rules Scorpio. And you also want to look to the sign, houses, and aspects to your Mars placement because Mars is the ancient ruler of Scorpio. That can give you a more holistic understanding, a deeper understanding of what the actual story is of your life if you have this placement. And this is about getting to your desired future. Life and death truly matters to you. That's very, very important. Is life and death matters? You can excel at that. It's good for inheritance, managing other people's resources. That's a good thing. And you're all about exposing truth, finding the truth, digging for the truth, bringing it up, sharing it, making it known. So that is all I have on the Midheaven and Scorpio placement. If you like this video, like the video, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell notification, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.